Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sam and welcome back to the channel. Finally we get to talk about Arsenal again. The brand new season has started. This game one has started. The season's back and it feels awesome. It feels like a long time since we've done a video on Arsenal and especially a game. And yeah, I'm so excited for this game. Obviously, Man United at Old Trafford. Let's just get into that right away. Before we even talk about the game, whoever the bright spark was that actually decided to put this game as the first game of the season, yeah, it's a huge mistake. Backfired spectacularly. I think it was. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you would have to start to think that maybe. Someone's kind of decided to try and make Arsenal's start to the season as difficult as possible. Even though Man United have been atrocious of late, the last 3 or so years, they've been really a terrible team. But they're always dangerous at home. They're always dangerous at Old Trafford. Arsenal is probably the one fixture they look at and think, yeah, you know what, Arsenal at Old Trafford, that's a game we can win. It's a game we can go against. Us Arsenal fans can ban on Man United fans all day long, but you ask anybody, like, Man United away is not the game we want to have as start of the season. But it is what it is. We don't have any control over that. Don't know what the process of the fixture lists and stuff is. You don't know what work goes into that. But yeah, very dodgy. But still, we're a good team. Even. Anywhere we could beat anyone on our day at home or away. But yeah, given the preseason, the commentators as well, it was quite funny to listen to them both consistently whining about the fact that the quality of the teams were just poor. Both teams played pretty badly. Arsenal played horrifically bad in that first half. But both teams were quite trash, giving the ball away, sloppy, missing shots. They're consistently talking about the quality of the game. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, it's the first game of the season. Preseason ended like a week ago. These most of these players have had barely any time off. There's going to be rust. Both teams as well had multiple new signings that had to be bedded in. Of course, the quality is not going to be great. Like, what moron decided to put these two teams at the start of the season is just backfired spectacularly. I mean, you want this game to be, around Christmas time, when there's real jeopardy, maybe Man United are doing relatively well and they want to chase a top four spot down. Maybe we're chasing the title again. And it would have been way more entertaining, given a little bit of, form and consistency and giving the new signings time to bed in. But it wasn't meant to be. Whatever the reason was, this game is the game that we had to play the first game of the season off to. So let's get straight into it. Like I said earlier, we played horrifically. We played bad pretty much all game, apart from Raya and maybe the defence as well. Um, yeah, we played it horrifically, especially going up front, up top. Our attacking prowess was non-existent, especially in the first half. Very sloppy, giving the ball away. At times, it looked like we were actively trying to let Man United score on us, giving them the ball, letting them have decent chances. They did play well, to be fair, Man United. I banter all of their fans as much as I can because it's quite funny. But they played relatively well. And I don't think, based on this one game, I don't think they're going to finish 15th again, even though they're 15th at the moment, which is exquisitely ironic. But I don't think they're going to finish that way. I think they're going to finish, in the top 10 at least. Top 4, I think, is out of the reach for them at the moment, unless they get a decent keeper in. But I thought they did well. I think Mbomo is their best player by far. De Ligt as well, defensively. Keeping Gyökeres quiet. We'll talk about him in a minute. But, good thing out of the way for Man United fans is that, I think that it's not going to be as bad as it has been over the last couple of years. How good it can be is a huge question mark, but they did alright. Bomo, if he gets injured, I think it's back to square one. Kuna did alright. That's pretty much it. Sesko could do well. Didn't really do anything in this game. Didn't do anything. I mean, yeah, he had like 20 minutes, but I didn't see. He's tall as hell, by the way. He's way taller than I thought he was going to be, but I didn't see anything from him that I thought, oh crap, we're going to be in trouble here for the next 10 minutes or so. But again, he could do well. He could score bunch of goals. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of Arsenal, Very disappointed in the first half. I think we should have controlled the game a little bit better. Very sloppy, like I said. Um, Inexplicably so. I mean, yes, okay, preseason and rustiness and whatever, but still, we're Premier League, contending, challenging team. Most of the starting 11 is the starting 11 we've had for a while. We should have done better than that. Um, but again, away from home, you never know what's going to happen. And then we go and score a corner, which was absolutely amazing. I mean, all the opposition fans like to banter us being a set piece FC. I love being set piece FC. Bring it on. Let us score a bunch of corners. And this is a perfect example of that. Mourinho-esque. I saw somebody saying that maybe Arteta is a bit more like Jose Mourinho and not Pep Guardiola, in the sense that we get the win. We like to play beautiful, but if we don't, at least try and get the win. We played an atrocious game, and no attacking threat whatsoever, and we still come out with a 1-0 win against Man United at Old Trafford. Um, Everyone else in the league, by the way, anyone else, any other team in the league that does that will be praised no end, but for some reason we're the bad guys for doing it. Just get better at corners is what I have to say to my Man United mates. You can't blame us for being better at corners than you are. The keeper flapped it, and Calafiori was there to nod it in. No one had Calafiori get our first goal of the season. I mean, some of us may not have had him starting this game. Very injury prone. He's got a big season ahead of him. He needs to really get consistent minutes for us. But yeah, not a bad way to do it. Score a goal, score the first goal of the season, great. And then that was it. I mean, the keeper was never going to make that same mistake twice, even though we had a bunch more corners. But still, that was enough to win the game. And as good as Burmo was, maybe as exciting as Sesko was, you have a world class goalkeeper like David Raya, you're not going to score against him. And if you do, you have to do something world class yourself. And they may not just don't have that at the moment. The defenders as well. Saliba had a very poor game, but still, him and Gabriel kept all of their attackers quiet this whole game. Despite Bruno Fernandes consistently whining to the referee about getting penalties and stuff, nobody whines like he does. It's so annoying. His whiny face is just irritating. But yeah, like Casemiro is arguably one of their best players as well, which is crazy considering he's like 40 years old. De Ligt had an outstanding game. Kept Gyökeres quiet. I think De Ligt got quite lucky that this was Gyökeres' first game in the Premier League. What a day for him, by the way. Getting his Premier League debut at Old Trafford against Man United, a historic fixture. Um, you know, There's always going to be a spotlight on strikers. No one said anything about Pedro not scoring for Chelsea. Nothing about Sesko. If Sesko was so amazing, if he's so much better than Gyökeres, and why didn't he do anything in this whole game? Um, but strikers take a little while. I can't even remember. I got a funny feeling Haaland didn't score in his first game. I can't remember, but strikers take notoriously long to get. It will take time to get into their rhythm. Thierry Henry as well. He didn't score for a little while. And look what happened to him. So I'm not bothered at all. There's a narrative in the media at the moment. The media are bantering us for only winning 1-0, for playing worse than Man United and somehow winning. But then they're also trying to spin the tale that Arsenal fans are worried about Gyökeres and that we're pessimistic about him. That's not the truth at all. Arsenal fans are quite comfortable with Gyökeres. He offered us something different. He offered us an actual outlet. It's just Saka was quite quiet today. That didn't help. Martinelli, I think, as well. Martinelli's Martinelli, but Odegaard, I thought, did really well, but couldn't quite link up with Gyökeres enough. Man United defensively was quite solid this whole game, except for that corner. So, yeah, we're not bothered about Gyökeres at all. We know that he's going to start scoring for us. We know that he's going to do really well for us eventually. It's just, we know that it's going to take a little time. And Man United away is probably not, the easiest game to kind of get settled into the Premier League with. So maybe in the next couple of games, especially the home games, we get embedded in a bit more, and he gets once he gets that one goal, I think that's it. I think he'll go off flying. Having Havertz come off the bench as well was amazing. And he looked dangerous as well. Looks beefed up as well. He looks like a unit now, which is good. Offers us something different. We're not solely relying on Havertz and God forbid Marino as well. even though Marino did really well for us up front, I think, you're in a bit of a bad way if you've got Marino starting up front for you. So, yeah, our bench looked absolutely hench today. Miles Lewis Skelly coming off the bench as well. All of our subs did really well, I thought. Um, Disappointed to see the kid Max Diamond on the bench at least, but you know, Arteta took a long time to get Miles Lewis Skelly into the team, as well as Ranieri. And Ranieri's a little bit different, but Lewis Skelly was a long time coming into the team. We were crying for him for a long time before he actually was allowed to play for under Arteta. So Arteta's going to take his time. He certainly was going to drop a 15-year-old kid into the Old Trafford away against Man United. So it's understandable. It would have been nice to have him on the bench. It really would have been nice to have him get his Premier League debut as a youngster, but we've really needed Max Diamond in this game, and 1-0 is a precarious lead. You don't want to bring a kid in on for that. You want to wait until you're at home at least, and you're winning relatively comfortable. You can just afford to bring on this kid who's not going to have too much pressure on him when he comes on. So fair enough, I understood the reason, but it was still a little bit disappointing. But it is what it is. Yeah, we move on now. I mean, this is arguably one of the hardest games we'll have to play all season. Etihad, Man City at the Etihad, Liverpool at Anfield. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're quite routinely, we've got winning at Stamford Bridge down to a routine now, which is great. So, yeah, and someone made a joke about, Gyökeres is only going to do well against the lower teams. He's only going to score. He's not going to do anything. He's only going to do something in the big games. He's not going to do anything against the lower teams. That's funny because Man United is a lower team right now. He didn't do anything against them. But if he does do anything, that's great because last season and I think the season before that we struggled against the lower teams. We did really well. We haven't lost to a top six side, a traditional top six side for a while, a long time now. It's the lower teams. It's the Crystal Palaces. It's the Brentfords. It's the Fulhams. And West Hams as well, who could get relegated this season, by the way. They're the teams that we struggle against. So if he starts scoring against them, great, awesome, because we got Havertz and Marino and Saka and anyone else to score goals against the bigger teams. So it's just so funny, the media, the opposition fans, we were supposed to have lost this game. It's quite clear now, and the fact that we won it, we only won it 1-0 off a set piece. They try to spin this narrative that Man United played better, they're the better team. How many times, and a load of people saying this, how many times did we go to Old Trafford, play them off the park, most of the possession, most of the shots, the beautiful passing, outplay them, and then they just go and score a goal, and then that's it, we lose the game. Jose Mourinho said, you can take the ball home if you want. I'll take the 3 points. I'll take the 3 points. There's no Arsenal fan in the world right now upset about this result. No one's realistically expecting Gyökeres to score in this game, although it would have been absolutely amazing if he did. There's always going to be the Sesko Gyökeres thing. Man United fans just love having us as their rivals, which is funny because they really aren't at the moment. They're not even a top 4 rival at this point. Barely, not even a top 6 rival at this point. So the next couple of games will be interesting to see how they do. But yeah, I mean, we've got Leeds at home next game, which is on paper a decent game for us. A newly promoted team, not really a Premier League established. But they did really well. They beat Everton, even though it's kind of dubious. They still kept Everton quiet. Everton's not on par with Arsenal. You've got to be real about that. But still, I think Leeds are going to be a tricky team, a difficult team, even at home. But you have to have us on paper winning that game. We're very good at home. We need to keep that run going. I expect probably the same team to play in that game as well, which is kind of nice. I like to see that. I want to get Gyökeres' home debut. Hopefully he gets a goal in that game. I think he might, touch wood. But then difficultiness. Anfield away, third game of the season. I mean, somebody somewhere's really gone, you know what, let's just make Arsenal start the season really as difficult as possible. It's difficult not to feel some kind of agenda against Arsenal at this point, but let's stretching it a little bit too far. Like I said, we don't know. It's probably computer generated at this point. Who knows how the fixtures get done? But yeah, Man United away, Leeds at home, Liverpool away. First 3 games of the season. I think we've got Nottingham Forest as well after that, which is always a difficult game. Yeah, it's going to be a real tough. It's going to be a real tough month, and we'll see how good we are and how high our title hopes are at the end of that little run, because I think there's an international break after that Forest game. So yeah, Liverpool away is going to be horrific. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that at all. It's always difficult going to Anfield, but their team, they're riled up. They're all emotional as well at the moment, which I think will play in their hands. Um, but yeah, it will be interesting to see. But at the moment, we just want to focus on Leeds next. Let me know what you think we can do against Leeds. Let me know what you think about this game, this Man United game. Do you agree that Man United should have got on the draw because they played better than us? I mean, I don't think so. We took our chance, they didn't. We have a world class keeper, they don't. We have a world class defence, they don't. Our midfield's great. Theirs is alright, not great. Um, they're a lot more difficult to play against than last season. Last season we cut through the Malabar, although they're always capable of getting a result against us. I think the last season I think we drew. I think at Old Trafford last season, and they celebrated that for a long, long time. So yeah, like I said, Man United fans call. If that's what you need to hold on to make yourself feel better, yeah, you did play better than us. We played atrocious and we still beat you. So at the end of the day, that should give you pause for thought. But anyway, enough about Man United. Arsenal, I mean, brilliant start to the season. Totally against everyone's agendas, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Leeds at home, try and get a win against them at home. We should be, even though I think they're going to be a difficult team to play against. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I still think we should be beating them at the Emirates. So touch wood, we do that, and get 6 points, and then move on to the Anfield clash, because that's going to be a horrific game. And then try and get something out of that, and then go to Forest, but have Forest in that Forest game at home as well, which should be a win as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, let me know what you think about the game. Gyökeres, Sesko. Did you like Calafiori playing and starting and scoring? Which was the Arsenal player that you didn't think played well? I thought Martinelli. I love Martinelli. I love him so much. I want us to keep him, but he's becoming a little bit difficult to defend at this point. I thought Zubimendi had an outstanding game. Metronome is his perfect nickname. He controlled the midfield. Didn't make so much. I mean, he did make a couple of tackles, to be fair. One really good tackle that comes to mind. But he controlled the pace, the tempo, allowed the Rice to go a bit forward, a bit more. People say that he had a bad game. Don't know what game you were watching, because I thought he had an amazing game. I thought he was really good in that midfield. I think he fits Odegaard and Rice quite perfectly. So cool for him. Like I said, Saliba had one of his worst games for Arsenal, if we're being brutally honest. But he's such a great player. Even at his worst, he's still getting a clean sheet against Man United. So take what you want. But yeah, let me know if I haven't mentioned anyone that had a good game or a bad game. What do you think our titles chances are this season? And yeah, I'm really buzzing, man. I mean, getting a win first game of the season against a team that was blatantly designed to slip us up. Yeah, I'm just being on cloud nine for the last couple of days now, which is great. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for waiting as well. It feels like a long time again that we've done an Arsenal video. Love talking about Arsenal. I love talking about Arsenal games again. Finally, the off seasons always feels like so long. Even when there's preseason games and tours and stuff, it's nothing quite like the Premier League. Yeah, buzzing, man. If you can't be excited about the beginning of the season for your football team, then sport's not the right thing for you. Football's not the right thing for you. Um, we all have a little bit of delusion in us. That's the whole point. We all want our team to do well, win games, and win trophies. So not going to go anything too negative this video. All positive for me, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I will be back for the Leeds game. I'll try and do that as soon as I can the next week. But enjoy the rest of your week, Gooners, and the weekend as well. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys very soon. Adios.